Good morning. Welcome to the Takeover. I'm your host, Khisha Brijon, along with the king of LA sports, Richard Lopez. And if you're looking for your daily sports fix, then you have come to the right place. Have they not?
No, they're in the perfect place for sports knowledge and news. And I like to call myself the sports educator. Check me out, the sports educator.
You have a new title every week.
Every day, because that's how I'm very innovative, I'm creative, I see myself as a visionary. I have a lot of things going in my way. I can't sleep because I have so many great ideas.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's jump right into it because we have a lot to discuss with the NFL and the Major League Baseball. So let's hop into some NFL news.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Preseason.
So, preseason started.
Yes, it did.
And let me start off with my team, the Raiders.
Yes.
If you guys watched the game, the Raiders, it was a playoff atmosphere in Oakland. They played their hearts out. I had never been more proud of my team. They played so hard, and they defeated the Dallas Cowboys, who many people predict to go to the Super Bowl.
Predict who to go to the Super Bowl?
A lot of people, they're America's team. You talk to any Cowboy fan, they're saying they're going to the Super Bowl.
Okay, yeah, that's Cowboys fans. But let's talk about somebody that's in reality. They're not going to the Super Bowl. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're taking away from the great performance.
Okay, I'm sorry.
They played the game of their life. They played their hearts out. They played with energy, and they defeated their hated rivals, the Dallas Cowboys.
They did.
And it was, yes, so what if it was the first game of the preseason? They did their thing. It was a playoff-type atmosphere. Congratulations, Raiders.
Congratulations, Raiders. Hopefully you can carry it over to the real season. We'll see.
Hey, we are the preseason legends.
Okay, right. Preseason, that's my whole point.
Legends.
That's my point, preseason.
That's true.
Right.
But if you look it up, the stats say the last time the Cowboys and Raiders played, the Cowboys lost.
Okay.
Well, I think I know why you're so bitter.
Oh,
let's
Lord.
talk about your team. How did your team do?
Well, you know
what?
They played the Broncos, and they lost. It was 10-6. I'm still okay. Here's the thing. Kaepernick did well, but he only played a very short period of time. As much as I love the Niners, I will say this. We need to find a backup. And I really think that we need a veteran with some seasons under his belt to back up Kaepernick. Because if Cap gets hurt, that's it for us. I'm sorry. Colt McCoy showed me nothing.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah, you can't dog Colt McCoy like that.
Why?
I mean, he's not great, but you underestimate your coach, Jim Harbaugh.
Excuse me.
You're estimating the quarterback genius, Jim Harbaugh.
49ers will settle for nothing but greatness. He's not great. Your words.
You guys had Alex Smith.
Okay, he wasn't great either, but my point, and that's why he got bitched for Kaepernick.
No.
Really?
Ms. Bree, I'm trying to give your team a compliment, and you won't even accept it. I'm telling you, the coach is a quarterback genius.
Yes, he is.
And so I think Colt McCoy is a capable backup. If he can teach Alex Smith to manage a game, he can teach Colt McCoy to manage a game.
No, Alex Smith was a game manager before Jim Harbaugh. So that has nothing to do with, or a testament to Harbaugh.
Whoa, back up. Before Jim Harbaugh,
yes,
Alex Smith managed the game?
Yes, he was a managing quarterback. Yes, he was. He's always played it safe. He's always managed the game. He was never he was always good with clock management. So no, Mr. Lopez?
What was the Niners' record before Jim Harbaugh?
Okay, that has nothing to do with clock management.
Yes, it does.
No, it does not.
They would have won the game.
No.
They would have won their games.
Okay, have you been watching the 49ers for the past 15 years, minus the last year?
No, okay, before Harbaugh came, they had a few down years.
They had a few?
Well,
15.
Well, come on, I'm a Raider fan. I'm a Raider fan, so that's a few down years.
Come on. They had 15 down years.
The point is, I think Colt McCoy, with the proper coaching, can be a great backup.
Well,
he's no Colin Kaepernick, that's for sure.
No, he's not. He's no Alex Smith for that matter. But go ahead, continue.
That's true, but he makes half the money Alex Smith does, and he could
probably, as he should.
And he could probably produce the same as a backup.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens.
I think he's going to be all right.
We'll see what happens. All I can say right now for Mr. Colt McCoy, and what's number 3? He's so bad I don't even remember the boy's name. Number 3.
Talking about the quarterback?
No bueno. No bueno. All bad. But as I said, as long as Cap does his thing, we'll be okay. I can't wait to see how Asamoah develops. I can't see how James develops. I can't wait to see how Anquan Bolton turns out, or what's the other Reed.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm thinking of Jenkins. AJ
Jenkins. Yeah.
Harbaugh said he didn't have his best performance, but he's supposed to be the next big thing for you guys. And I believe it. I've seen some of his highlights, and I watched him a little bit last preseason. He's the real deal. So Yeah,
Okay,
the Niners look like they're doing their
now that
thing.
we've got our teams out the way, let's talk about some other teams
Yeah, let's do it.
in the NFL.
RG3 and Mike Shanahan kind of got into a little conflict because they say RG3 is ready to play, but Shanahan wants him to wait till the regular season.
I can understand that, though. You know, he got hurt severely last year, so he's trying to protect his quarterback now. I'll give it to RG3. He wants to play. That shows his passion and his desire to play. So I hear you. I feel you. But you can't take the risk for your quarterback going out in preseason again.
Yeah.
You can't take that risk. So you need to just sit tight and wait for the first game of the season.
Yeah, they have a more than capable backup in Kirk Cousins. And you can't do that. If you remember the playoff game last year when the RG3 got hurt, he should have came out after that first injury. But they put him back in. You can see his knee twisted pretty bad from the first time, and they put him back in. And Shanahan, I mean, it sounds like he doesn't want to make another mistake again. You know, so I just don't get it. Well, now he's trying to take everything real serious when he put the kid's life at risk, not life, but his professional career at risk last season. And yeah, but RG3 seems to have risk. I like the way he's handling it. He can go and have bad mouth Shanahan, but he's saying the minute he gives him the okay, he's going to give it his all.
As he should.
Yeah, as he should.
As he should. Let's talk about Tyrann Mathieu, who showed up and showed out on Friday's preseason opener victory against the Green Bay. Did that boy show up? Oh my gosh, he impressed a lot of people, including the Cardinals head coach. He had a sack for a 12-yard loss, 2 tackles on special teams, and a 24-yard punt. We have to go to commercial to pay some bills.
Oh, that's no problem.
Let's pause it there for a minute.
Yeah,
we'll come back on the subject.
Right back to this.
And we'll let you know. So we'll be back.
Oh my God, it's the K.O.L.A.S sports. Oh my goodness. Oh, sign anywhere, just anywhere. Take you to copy this. There's no way. I gave you before.
Oh, hey, King.
Hey, how you guys doing?
All right, what do you think about Mike Trout this year?
He's doing very good. Excellent 5-tool player, but he's no Yasiel Puig, that's for sure.
All right, there.
All right, take it easy, guys.
Are you the King of LA sports?
Yeah, that's me. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, of course.
So how do you feel about the Clippers this season?
Clippers are going to be good. It's nice to see another team in LA actually making moves. All right, take it easy, man.
Thank you. Bye.
Richard Lopez, the king of Los Angeles sports. If it's happening in Los Angeles, it's happening with the king.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is... Please note, the new number is...
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is the king of LA sports, Richard Lopez, and welcome to my Royal Rant, where I get to tell you about things that just piss me the hell off. People talking on cell phones during the games. Now, the king of LA sports, I don't give a crap what you were doing at your job during the day. You know, that's your own personal business. Don't bring it to the ballpark. I don't come to the ballpark talking about everything that happened in my life during the day. That's complete BS. You know, let's see some real Dodger fans, real baseball fans, real sports fans. You don't do that. You don't get on cell phones during the games. That's a load of crap. No one gives a you-know-what beer prices at games. This is the most absurd thing that I've ever heard of. You can go get a 12-pack for one beer that you buy at the stadium. It's ridiculous. They are murdering everyone. But you know what? I blame some of us, the fans, because we, like idiots, we buy the $12 beers, $12.50, and we complain about it all the time. So in a way, it's our fault, but it's really upsetting because ownership of all these teams, they know how much we love our drinking. I'm Mexican. We love our drinking a lot. So it really bothers me that we have to pay that much money. We're in a recession, people. Give us a break. I mean, make it like a $7 beer at least, like if you go to a normal bar. Why do you gotta double it up? It's just ridiculous.
Welcome back to the Takeover. We are continuing talks about the NFL, and we left off at Tyrann Mathieu. How did you think he did? I thought he did great, so let's continue with that.
Yeah, I mean, just because this kid got in trouble doesn't take away the fact that he was a Heisman candidate. He was actually the favorite to win the Heisman Trophy the year he got suspended. So maybe, you know, you got to give people in life second chances, you know, depending on what they did. Usually someone should get a second chance. I believe in second chances. God gave me a second chance, and I believe in second chances. So, I mean, this guy's only, what, 19 years old, 20 years old, 21? But he needs a second chance, and maybe he did change his life. And now maybe he's concentrating on football. Maybe he's back to the physical element that he had when he was the Heisman candidate. So maybe he can actually be an impact for the Cardinals. I really think he will, too.
I think he will. I mean, he outshined his two counterparts, Patrick Peterson and Kevin Minter. So I think he's on the right path. And as I said in previous shows, I think he's going to be a complete asset to the Cardinals. Not to mention the fact that former Raider Carson Palmer.
Yeah, Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer, excuse me. He did a pretty decent job as well. He has Fitzgerald now to pass too.
Oh, yeah.
So that team might be a team to watch out for.
Yeah, I think there'll be a very good team. The problem is their division. You know, their division.
Well, we'll see.
I don't think they're gonna but I mean, they have a solid team. They can make noise.
I'm not saying they're going to I'm not even going to say that they're going to be a playoff team, but I think they'll definitely go 500.
Yeah, the Cardinals, they're making good moves out there, so I'm pretty excited to see that. And well, since we're on the subject of football, let's talk about Johnny Football, Johnny Manziel, and the little controversy that came up with him and allegedly signing all these autographs. Now, his camp is saying that they weren't paid for it, but I don't know anyone out there that would sign 44,000 autographs and not get anything from it. Let's just be real.
Well, I know Tebow does it for $100 a pop, right?
Oh, don't get me started on Tebow.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Tebow is the Antichrist.
No, we're not going back down that road.
He's the Antichrist.
Help him, Jesus.
Why is Tebow?
Help him, Lord.
Hold on. Why is Tebow asking for money for autographs?
Because I don't know. He's broke.
Think about it. Think about it.
Whatever. To donate 10% to the church and to do all those offshore missions that he does, you know, those overseas missions that he does on the off season. Now, back to Johnny Football. Yes. Yes.
Johnny Football. So yeah, I mean, let's just think about it for a second. I want to ask your opinion. Do you believe he's saying that he didn't get any money for this? Do you believe him?
44,000.
Without 3 different guys, 44,000 signings.
I think he got paid. I'm not
so
going to risk carpal tunnel for for free. Right.
And then he had the nerve. The guy told him the reason they stopped is because he said he wasn't going to sign anymore without getting paid for it.
Right.
But you know, it brings me back to my whole college athletes being paid thing. Like, honestly, this shouldn't be a big deal. Like, this shouldn't be a big deal at all.
I don't think so either. I mean, I think if they get, I would consider it payment, but if they got some type of, financial compensation, whether it be through their student loans or some type of financial aid to help them when they're in college, I don't have a problem with that either. Look at all the money that they generate for the school.
Yeah.
They generate millions of dollars a year for the school. So, and then you want to, if you're a kid coming from humble backgrounds, never had anything, if somebody's going to flash, a couple of thousand in your face, of course you're going to take it. So now you don't get in trouble because you're no longer with the school, but your team gets sanctioned for the next 25 years. You don't care. You're in the NFL now. So to just avoid all of that, give them some money.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, everyone can check out my segment on if college athletes should be paid. I did it last week, King of LA Sports Channel. But yeah, there's got to be a learning curve in there where these guys can actually have some money in college. Don't give them a lot. Give them $10 for the backups and $20 for the starters, $15 for the starters. That'll encourage these guys to work hard to be a starter. Like the guys that make $10 an hour in college, they'll work hard to make $20 or $15 as a starter, and that'll teach them life lessons. It'll teach them a life lesson, like how to manage their money, as opposed to having to scrounge through college, and then once you get pros, you get millions of dollars. That's how these guys lose their money. College is not just to teach these guys how to play football. You got to teach them how to live life the right way, money management.
I agree.
And I've seen it more than once. Even people I know have everything when they go pro, and then they lose it all.
I agree. I completely agree with you. You can't argue with the truth.
No, you can't.
Okay, so let's talk Mark Sanchez and some lowlights that he had.
Oh.
Not highlights. Yes, people, you heard me correctly. The lowlights. In typical Mark Sanchez fashion, the first series of the Jets preseason opener against the Lions, he threw a pick 6. Yes, people, you heard me correct. The first play. He could not go 3 minutes without performing the way Mark Sanchez does. Now, no one can ever say Khisha Brijon is not a fair woman. I will tell you that he did go on to complete 10 of 13 for 125 yards. However, Mark, you should have stayed in college one more year. I'm just saying. But what vexes me more about that, vexes me more about that is Rex Ryan's response. I didn't see it. And how he just continues to keep his head stuck up his anus.
Ass.
I was going to say
you
anus.
Can say ass.
Anus.
Ass.
Regarding his boy, Mark Sanchez. He didn't want to answer any questions. He started the press conference with video footage of something else. Dude, your boy needs to be benched. Now, true enough, Geno Smith didn't really, the jury's still out on him because I didn't get to see what I wanted to
He's
from
still
him.
a little injured.
Right. But I don't care if Geno Smith has a broken leg. At this point, he can do better than Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, Sanchez, I had his back, but now he's totally gone off the deep end. I don't know what to say. I really honestly boil it down to Rex Ryan having a man crush on Mark Sanchez.
I told you I said the same thing. They have some type of bromance going on.
There's a serious bromance on there that needs to be investigated. And if I was the king of New York sports, I would truly investigate it. But I'm the king of LA sports, so I won't investigate it. But I'll look into it because Mark Sanchez is from Los Angeles, Orange County. So I will look into it. But yeah, there's he supposedly has a tattoo of his wife with a Mark Sanchez jersey. What is the deal with that?
I don't know.
That makes no sense to me.
That makes no sense. Well, you know what? We have to pay some more bills.
Yeah,
so let's wrap it up for a second. And when we come back, we'll be talking some Major League Baseball to you.
Yeah, we will. Cam Newton, thank you for coming to visit the King.
No problem.
I promise to always report truthfully about the Panthers.
Don't forget 60 minutes of play a day, right?
60 minutes of play a day? What am I, a child?
Absolutely.
You're talking to royalty?
Yes, sir.
Are you calling out royalty?
Maybe.
You must not know me. You're using a very unsettling tone.
Okay.
That's why Darrell Revis is going to have 6 interceptions against you this year.
Excuse me?
That's why the Panthers aren't going to win the division. That's why RG3 is better than you.
Whoa.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is... Please note, the new number is...
And another thing, I wouldn't necessarily say it pissed me off, but I like to point it out because I want people to think about this one. When you're at the games and people come out onto the big screen, you truly see people's true colors. I mean, you see exactly the type of person they are when they get on the big screen and they get their 15 seconds of fame. I mean, you get the girls out there, you can find out which type of girl they are. You get some girls that are shy, they don't want to look at the camera. Some girls that just start screaming. And then you get your girls that want to be all sexy, and sometimes they're not even sexy. Sorry. You get your macho guys that want to start flexing and do everything for the camera. You get your guys that look away, the ones that want to drink beer. And then you get the guys like me that just get all crazy and just don't know what to do.
Welcome back. I misspoke. My apologies. I do make mistakes too every once in a while. Not too often, about once a decade. But we had one more subject we needed to bring to you with football, and that's James Harrison and his issue that he's having on the Bengals.
This is hilarious. If you guys haven't watched Hard Knocks, I suggest you try to watch it on YouTube, whatever. James Harrison, former linebacker from the Pittsburgh Steelers, is now a Cincinnati Bengal. And he is just totally opposed to the idea of these cameras filming him for the Hard Knocks special for preseason. So I started noticing as I was watching, every time they go up to him, he turns his back. Cameras are up to him, he turns like this. He doesn't want nothing to do with the HBO cameras. And it's just hilarious. And every time they come near him, he turns around, he tells them how he doesn't want them there. And he really, truly doesn't believe that they belong there. And he's crazy. They say he likes to be by himself. He doesn't like to be bothered. He's really crazy.
Is he crazy, or is he, I'm here to do my job and do my thing and then walk out? I mean, to me, cameras can be beneficial and they can be hurtful because one, you have cameras in there 24/7. They're putting all your business out in the street, and what stays in the house, what stays behind, what goes on in the house should stay in the house. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to put all your issues out in the street. Okay. That's one of the issues that the Jets had with Rex Ryan and his media circus. But go ahead.
But New York, that's a hard market to deal with. But you want to know my opinion on the situation?
Of course we do, King.
We remember, I think a year or two ago, James Harrison on the Steelers, he got caught with performance enhancers. He got suspended. So now, I can't help but think it has something to do with that. Maybe he's just angry person, because that's what roid rage does. It makes you very, very angry.
But he's not on roids now,
How do you know?
He? You're right,
He might be
don't.
on HGH.
Oh.
He's one of the smaller linebackers in the league, but he's probably the craziest.
I think you have to be a little off to play linebacker anyway, but
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you got to be able to take a lot of head hits to play linebacker.
Yeah.
But, if you haven't checked it out, check out Hard Knocks. It's a great show. You can catch it on YouTube also, but don't forget to check out the King of LA Sports first. And with that being said, let's move into our next subject.
Which would be Major League Baseball. We're going to talk about who's hot and who's not in the league. We're going to talk about some top teams, some top players. Who do you have as your...
You know who I have.
Well, we know. Let's save the Dodgers for last. Let's talk about somebody. Let's talk about somebody else.
All right. Let me kind of go into, before we get into the hot teams, I want to talk about a subject. We did a show on steroids.
Yes.
Last Takeover was all about steroids.
Yes.
And Mike Trout, a player who I totally respect in the game, he's earned my respect. Mm-hmm. He came out and said PED users should be banned for life. What do you think about that? Is that too harsh, or is that the way it should be?
For life, but see, you can't do that because you haven't. Well, have you banned other players for life for the steroid release?
No, it hasn't happened yet.
Okay, so you can't just.
That's just his opinion.
You can't, but you can't just set precedents like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna get lawsuits, you're gonna be sued. So you have to go with past practices. Suspending 65 games, 70, even the rest of the season. But a life ban. What happened to the second chances? Everybody deserves a second chance.
I believe they should. I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I don't think a life ban. I think if you get caught enough times, then yes, okay, you know what? You're hard-headed. 3 strikes, 2 strikes, you're out.
3-strike, you're out policy.
But the first time, no. Because it could be something as simple as, well, it's on, as Detroit said, it's on both lists. It says I can use it, it says I can't use it. I got caught, but which one is it? You know? So I think it should, and then it's on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, that caught me by guard. I thought that was pretty interesting. I thought I wanted to bring that up. Mm-hmm. Moving on, baseball, the Yankees, actually, Mariano Rivera, the game's best closer ever, actually gave up 3 save opportunities in a row, which is totally unlike him, against the
maybe he needs
Detroit
some of the
Tigers.
PEDs. I'm sorry.
Yeah, maybe he's off the PEDs.
Right.
He might be off the PEDs.
Right.
Maybe that's why he's giving all this stuff up.
Could be.
And he gave up 2 home runs in 2 games to Miguel Cabrera, to come back. And the Yankees, they don't look like they're making the playoffs. They had A-Rod come back, and actually their attendance grew for 6,000 more tickets as opposed to before he was injured, and their TV ratings went up a lot from A-Rod being there. So even if they're not winning, he still helps them make money.
And you said they lost to the Detroit Tigers?
Yeah, they lost. Well, yeah. Yankees came back and won one of those games, but, the Rivera gave up the blown save. He had 3 blown saves in a row.
Okay, I actually have Detroit as one of my top teams in baseball because they have the best winning percentage in the AL with almost 60%, and they've won the last 17 of their 20 games. So they're hot right now.
They're hot. They're my pick to go to the World Series out of the American League.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's my team right there in the American League is the Detroit Tigers. But also the hottest pitcher in the American League, Yu Darvish. He's went over 200 strikeouts, which is the most by any pitcher this year. And he also, the Rangers are at top of the NL West, or the American League West. And Yu Darvish actually had a no-hitter yesterday through the game, through 6 innings, and then his catcher got thrown out for arguing balls and strikes, and he ended up giving it up. But, this guy is the real deal. Yu Darvish is probably one of the best pitchers in the American League. But that's all we have for the American League. Let's talk the National League.
Let's talk the National Leagues. Let's talk about your boys,
Yeah.
Los Dodgers.
Los Dodgers.
They have been on fire since June 21st. Actually, since June 21st. They had the same record as the Cubs, same record as the Brewers. Since then, they've been gone, a 42-8 winning streak.
In the last 50 games?
That is awesome. The last team that I remember, or not even remember, because I
Yeah.
wasn't even born. But
I hope you weren't born in the
No, the
20s.
last stat that I remember is like the 53 Dodgers going on like a 45 game winning streak or something like that. So they're doing big things right
Oh,
now.
They sure are. They've been the hottest team by far in baseball. Like, it's almost like I'm living a dream. This is great. I'm gonna end up going to these games. I'm gonna end up going broke. But you know what? It is so worth it to buying them my stuff
They
at the
brought
games.
the fun back to the game
They
for the
sure
Dodgers.
did. And I'll sit here and I'll guarantee if the Dodgers make the World Series, I guarantee it's the most watched World Series in the history of baseball. I guarantee it. It will be. Just because so many people, Dodger fans travel, they're almost like, there's certain teams where their fans travel with them deep. It's the Braves, the Mets, the Red Sox, Yankees, all these teams travel across the country with them, and the Dodgers are starting to build that type of reputation. You hear Dodger chants in ballparks across the country.
They've had an amazing turnaround because they're for the first half or the first couple of months they weren't doing so great. They were actually like America's worst team or something,
Yeah,
and
they literally were.
weren't the Vegas odds like 40-1 on them or something
40 to 1
ridiculous?
odds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now look, now they're World Series bound. What? Really?
Now in Vegas, I think the odds are like 3 to 1.
Really?
So one thing I have to say, if you were out there, if any genius out there was in Vegas when the Dodgers were 40 to 1 odds,
hint, hint, hint.
and if they happen to put money on the Dodgers when they were 40 to 1 odds, those geniuses are going to be doing a lot better if the Dodgers win the World Series.
Yeah.
Because it was a smart bet. God, I'd like to meet one of those guys that put money on the
I met
Dodgers
one.
at 40 to 1
I
odds.
think I met one. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he is a nice guy. He talks a lot though.
That's okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, the Dodgers. This is just an amazing treat. I was there last night, and the Dodger game. They were losing up all the way until the 7th inning, and then my boy Nick Punto comes up and hits a home run, and actually, we have footage of how excited the King was.
Let's check that out.
No, real quick. Let's check this out. This got, shout out to John for letting me know. Yeah.
You were very excited.
I was super excited.
You were, mucho excited.
Oh, this is my team, and little clips like that, like it seems little and small, but that's exactly how the King of L.A. Sports got started. King of L.A. Sporting Events is what it was called at first, but stuff like that is how it got started. That's how the legend was born, and that's how my legend to end. Right there with the people, with the fans, with everyone. That I consider right. I'm so sorry to cut you off,
That's
beautiful.
okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
The right field corner. You heard her first, is now considered the King's Corner.
The King's
The King's
Corner.
Corner.
The
The right
King's
field
Corner.
is the King's Corner. I'm going to make that my point to sit there most of the time, anytime I can, and I'm going to give these right fielders a piece of my mind.
Okay.
And, go ahead.
No, well, I was going to say, give the people some pointers that you think the Dodgers will need to do to maintain what they're doing now and take it all the way to the World Series.
Puig me. They just got to keep rolling the Puig, riding the Puig train. I mean, Don Mattingly said, even when he goes 0 for 5, if the Dodgers win, he's the happiest guy in the clubhouse. He brings energy, he brings life, and it's just a beautiful, you can see it. You can see it. These guys, they're trying to get doubles out of singles, triples out of doubles, and it's just.
So he brought life back into that team. He's like the spark of that team.
That's exactly what he is. He's the spark of that team. And it's just crazy. The Dodgers they're bad as a team, they're batting .296. Which is since the All-Star break, which is almost like it's unheard of. They are just, they're tearing it up, and it's beautiful. Like as a Dodger fan, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Well, I am glad all things are right in Dodger world. And King, tell people where they can find you.
King of LA Sports. You can find me under the King of LA Sports on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And you can find me on Twitter, Rich Lopez, K.O.L.A.S. And you can also, hold on, I got one more thing before I let you give your shout out.
Problem.
I want to shout out these guys in the Facebook chat room going at it. They're Braves fans. Joshua Warwick, Mike Pritchard, you guys always come at me hard. How are the Dodgers doing now? Dodgers are doing good. Don't be afraid when we come at you. We're about 5 games out of a better record than you, so watch out. I'm not going to do much more talking on there, but you guys will see. Here we come. Shout out to you guys, though. You guys rep the King. I love it.
And you can find me on YouTube at Khisha Brijon. Until next week, may the sports be with you.
And remember, everyone, when you live like Rich, you'll never be poor. Have a great day.